Welcome back to Sovran Systems Institute Ministry Wednesday. Good to see everyone. Quick reminder, this session is recorded and will be published on Sovereign Signal for ministry transmission purposes. The value of fellowship isn't in restricted access. It's in your live participation, peer engagement, and capacity building that we do together. You may participate with camera audio off if you prefer, but your video on presence strengthens the field. I will open our ministry. We gather as sovereign beings under the lawful design of life, encoded within each of us. In this sacred space of the Sovran Systems Institute, we pause to recognize our jurisdiction, our capacity, and our contract with the natural order. May our words and decisions align with the Resiliency Code and generate sovereign wealth for ourselves and all who will follow the resilient path. Tonight is a special night, New Year's Eve, and with it, plenty of emotions and anticipation. That being the case, we're going to dive into the emotional field this evening. Spring is coming, and so is the chaos. Winter kept you inside, low light, low energy. You survived. Now spring arrives, more sunlight, more energy, more possibility. And most people completely lose their minds. They mistake energy for capacity. They confuse excitement for readiness. They burn through spring's momentum in 3 weeks and wonder why summer feels like recovery. Here's what's actually happening. Your body is receiving more input. More light means more hormonal activation. More warmth means more physical capability. More daylight means more time to do things. But none of that is new capacity. It's just more fuel hitting your system. If your emotional field isn't regulated, that fuel creates fire instead of function. Emotion is signal, not instruction. When you feel excited about spring, that's a signal. When you immediately book 5 projects, sign up for 3 things, and commit to a total life overhaul, that's reaction. Most people treat emotion like a command. I feel it, so I must act on it. That's the VVH loop in motion. You're a victim to the feeling, a villain to anyone who gets in your way, and a hero when it all works out, which unfortunately it rarely does. Regulated response looks like this. You feel the energy rising. You notice it. You can actually name it. Then you ask, what field does this energy actually serve? Not, what do I want to do with this feeling? But where does this energy actually belong in my human capacity building journey? Channeling energy into capacity. Spring energy wants to build something. The question is, are you building capacity or chasing distractions and setting yourself up for extraction? Capacity building uses spring's energy to reinforce your foundation. Distraction burns spring's energy on wishful thinking that collapses by June. Examples. Wishful thinking. I'm going to start running every day, learn guitar, remodel the kitchen, and launch a side business. Capacity building. I'm going to make one capacity adjustment consistently for 30 days and see what holds. Wishful thinking. Spring is here. Time to fix everything wrong with my life. Capacity building. Spring is here. Time to see which field is weakest and shore it up. The difference? One extracts future energy you don't have. The other invests present energy into structure that compounds into exponential capacity growth. The nervous system either holds or breaks. Your nervous system is what decides if spring's energy builds you or burns you out. When it's regulated, you can process the capacity expansion. You internalize it, you direct it, you use it. When it's dysregulated, the energy scatters. You feel manic, you overcommit, and you crash. Regulation isn't complicated. Sleep in your window. In other words, don't let spring light destroy your rhythm. Maintain your fasting regimen. Don't let the social seasonality of New Year's and spring wreck your gut. Move intentionally. Tai Chi before you sprint into chaos. Track what you're holding. The physical field capacity elements matter here. Go back and listen to the ministry from December 17th for the physical field deep dive. Spring doesn't care if you're ready. It shows up anyway. Your nervous system either holds that energy or it doesn't. Spring is the trap of seasonal reset. Every spring, people treat it like a reset button. New season, new me. That's extraction thinking. You're hoping external conditions will fix your internal structure. They won't. Spring gives you more energy. It does not give you more capacity. If your foundation is weak, more energy just accelerates the capacity extraction and collapse. We've all been there at one point in our lives. The alternative? Use spring to test what you built in the winter. Winter was low energy maintenance. You learned what parts of your fields required repair and shored them up when conditions were hard. This is your foundation going into spring. Spring is high energy stress testing. You see what that foundation actually holds under load. You didn't have to rebuild everything over the winter. You just made what you had stronger. Same goes for the spring, but use the extra energy to continue to reinforce what you already have. The extra energy is not permission. Spring will arrive whether you're ready or not. You will feel more energy. That's biology, not breakthrough. The question is, will you channel that energy into capacity expansion or burn it on wishful thinking? Your emotional field doesn't need spring to fix it. Your emotional field requires regulation before spring arrives. So when the energy comes, you can actually use it. Emotion is signal. Regulation is structure. Capacity is what holds when the energy hits. Spring is coming. Are you regulated enough to use it wisely? Next week, we're going to cover the intellectual field, the framework of sovereign thought. With that, I'll close this week's ministry. Having prepared through this fellowship, we return to participate from our individual sovereignty, carrying the coherence generated here into our respective fields, in service to the lawful design of life and the continuation of this work. Happy New Year, and take care, everyone.